Hello everyone and welcome back to Breaklight Productions. My name is Curtis Lambert and today we're reacting to 6 more currently trending music videos, starting with ZAYN, Sideways. So ready? We got that 4x3, love to see it. Ooh, okay, that is gorgeous backlighting. Like, that is really cool, and like you can see the little flare and some of the rays that's just naturally giving over his shoulder there. I'm sort of curious if that's actual sunlight or light. I think it's a light. Yeah, 100% it's a light. Ooh, cool POV. Subtle little zoom out there. Ooh, okay. That was... Why is it on 780p? Loving these POV cards. Face to face with your lips on mine and our legs on the pillowcase. Sideways. Ah, look at the highlights on him. Okay, so this is the importance of highlights. I know I say it many times, but just look at these like little glints in his eye that just add so much life and beauty into your shot. It's just, yeah, it's gorgeous. And the thing is, you've got to think about it this way. That's not the light that's behind him. And like when we go to the POV, like there's nothing there that would give him an highlight. So, you know, when they're getting that shot, they're either bringing in like a little LED light to give that highlight, or they could potentially be turning on this lamp that we see here on the wall. Either way, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Ooh, cool. Awesome change up with the editing there. And you can see just every shot's just subtly moving. It's like this one, just slowly zooming in. And a lot of that is artificial, or done in post, I should say. But it makes it feel more alive. Face to face with your lips on mine and our legs on the pillowcase. Sideways, late at night with your love laying next to mine. I'm just looking at you sideways, sideways, sideways. Yeah, cool B-roll here. I am noticing there is massive compression problems with this video, which is such a shame. Like, that's not down to the film person's fault. It's just when it's unfortunately uploaded to YouTube, sometimes YouTube just compresses the shit out of it. Yeah, so cool. Oh, that, and we gotta go back. Look at how the shadow moves there. Like, they're using different light sources in this moment, and potentially even moving them as well, because you see that shadow move behind it. So cool. And like a lot of this is like half of his face in a very warm lighting, and then just these edge lights or side lights that are in this colder temperature. I'm just looking at you sideways, sideways, yeah. Hell yeah. And like, one thing I love about this music video is, again, it just goes to show, if you commit to an idea, nothing is boring. Like, they essentially, every single shot of him singing in this music video, I'm pretty sure, because everything else he's, yeah, just modeling and sort of B-roll stuff. So the only times he's actually singing is like when he's laying in this bed in this exact shot, and I don't hate it. I think it actually keeps it very engaging. It keeps it very personal and intimate because of the way he's, you know, looking at us singing the lyrics of the song. Like, that's a very intimate shot that really matches the tone and the lyrical content of the song itself. So yeah, brilliant idea here to just, yeah, have that be the main sort of performance, and then everything else is more sort of B-rolly. But yeah, just a lot of beautiful edge lights here with that cooler temperature lighting, whereas the majority of him is always in this warmer tungsten-y type color. But yeah, all in all, gorgeous. I will say, like I said earlier, like, you could see here especially, I don't know if that's gonna pick up on the, oh no, you can. So where my mouse is now, you will see this is compression. This is what I always talk about when talking about compression. You can physically see how it's taken a block of pixels and just made it one big blob, these sort of big squares of just black. And unfortunately, yeah, sometimes YouTube compression will just be brutal. I've yet to do some tests, but one way I've found that sort of always seems to make it less noticeable or bad is by putting a artificial grain over the top. But yeah, I wanted to make sure, and yeah, like, this is the 1080p version. I'll try the 4K version. Even that, like, it's still there. It's not as bad, but it's still there, which, yeah, that's just such a shame, you know, because otherwise it's a very beautiful music video. And compression is nothing to do with the people filming it. It's really just more YouTube being YouTube. So, moving on. SB19 X JOLIN Emoji. Hopefully I pronounced that all correctly. Let's jump on into it. Ooh! Okay, you've been warned. All you epileptics, get out of here. Ooh, cool. Already getting the vibe that this is gonna pop off. Oh, that crane shot though. Perfect. Oh, these camera movements. So smooth. Hang on. That was a cool transition. Let's look at that again. Ah, oh, so smooth, using the motion as like a match cut. So good. Loving the lighting in that scene. That's cool. Very simple, just couple of backlights and some sort of LED, like, giant TV things on the sides. Ooh, that was creepy. That was cool. And again, using that tungsten to like holder cuts to show like two different characters that they're going between. Ooh, I like that shot, Anna. Yeah, this shot's awesome. How the hell have they done that? I guess like it would just be one big like light in the back there, and that these two sort of things on the side are either the TVs again, or I shouldn't say TVs, giant LED panels, or it could be like composited over the top, which I feel like this left one definitely is, because it's sort of going over the floor a bit there, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. But the backlighting's awesome. If you read my emojis, read the whole. I'm a filter queen with a private soul. Yeah. I'm a filter queen with a private soul. Oh, the flares they're getting off of some of these lights are awesome. Oh, cool. Tracking back to reveal more. Cool effects. Alright, I will quickly mention one thing. So, sometimes people get a bit confused between a zoom out and a track back, and what that exactly means. So a zoom out is when you have your camera and you're zooming it out, which means you're sort of revealing more of the shot. You know, you're going from a close-up to wide as you're zooming out. Then you have a track back, and a track back, or some people call it a pull or pullback or whatever, is where you're taking the camera and you're literally walking backwards, or it might be you're on a dolly and you're dollying backwards or whatever, and you're basically using that to reveal more. And there's a lot of, even though it sounds like both things would sort of just make the same effect, like you're just revealing more of the shot, there's a lot that goes into it, and deciding for your production if a zoom out or a track back is the most viable option. Some things could be focal length, what lens you're using, etc. What is your starting point and your end point, because it might be a lot easier to just do it static on a tripod and zoom out than try and walk all the way backwards. But yeah, there's a lot there to essentially weigh up when you're making that decision. But that was definitely a track back. And these are push-ins, which is the opposite. It's where you're walking it in. Good editing on the choreography. Oh, cool screen wipes. Yup, perfect. Gives us another thing to talk about, screen wipes. So a lot of people, when you first get into film, you sort of think that you have to use like a sort of post-production transitions to move from shot to shot. And so, you know, you throw your crossfade or your star wipe or a transition effect or whatever it may be over the top of your footage. But the thing is, a good director, camera operator, whatever, they can work out how to get cool transitions out of the camera itself. So what they're doing here is they're going behind these planks, and using that to hide a cut that then shows the new person. And because so long as the camera operator maintains the same speed, it seems flawless. So like if you watch this, there'd be a cut in there, and it's so fast that and because it's in the middle of a movement, your brain doesn't even pick up on it, but there was a cut in there, and now, you know, well, there you go. That one you could actually feel a bit because you could see the jump. Watch it very carefully. There, you could just see that little jump. It wasn't quite at the same height or whatever, which again makes sense. You've got people of all different heights. It's probably gonna, you know, depend on how high you carry it and stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Ooh. It's like Kendrick Lamar's Humble music video where they're all like nodding their heads. Oh, cool. Cool VFX happening. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that was awesome. Sick. Yeah, well, hey, this was a great music video. Lots happening in here. I love all of the lighting again. Like, even this frame that I've just landed on, like, this takes so much work. Like, just, and look at how beautifully it's lit. Not only are they shooting through the dancers towards him, but they've also lit him in a way where we've got that perfect Rembrandt lighting, which if I, and I'm gonna have to look at my camera for this, if I go like that, this light is now at a perfect 45-degree angle from my face. And that's what we call Rembrandt lighting. Now, the way you can tell that is it gives you, I always get that back to front, it gives you a triangle under one eye. So when we look at him here, we can tell exactly where that light is. That light is on his right-hand side, 45-degree angled, pointed at him, giving him Rembrandt light under his the left side of his face. So this is the power of like just playing with lights and getting experience and stuff in the field. Is once you learn these things, you can look at a shot like this that is a music video that no doubt had a budget 10 times higher than anything I've ever worked with, and yet I can look at it and go, I know how they lit that. I have a pretty good idea how they lit that. You've also got obviously all this backlighting, which is backlighting is great. It separates him from the background, if you didn't have those, he'd just be blending into the darkness behind him. But those lights give us a shape to work with. Easiest way of thinking about it, which we also see in this music video, is this. Backlights are to give you shape. They're for silhouettes, but even if it's not fully silhouetted, they still give you separation and shape. Talking about this shot, this is, now that I've looked at it properly, this is definitely, these dots are definitely overlaid on top. So those would be two, I guess, black walls, and they've just overlaid that on top, which is a really interesting choice there. Another thing I want to talk about this shot that is important is these dancers in the foreground, right? One important thing to note, if the lighting, so that Rembrandt 45-degree lighting on him is in a position where it's not behind the dancers. Because if it was on the other side, like where the camera is, these dancers in the foreground would be lit up. Instead, they're relatively silhouetted with a bit of like a hair light, edge light thing going on. And that's great because they're not important. They're just adding shape and dirtiness to the shot. We don't need to see details. If the light was where the camera is, these two in front would be perfectly lit up and it would just be a messy image. So even details like that, it's so important. I absolutely love this. Yeah, really interesting flares and glares. The fact that we can see the shape of all these lights means also that this room was chock full of haze, which again, if you want shape to your lighting, add haze. Because again, like, these aren't laser beams. Like, if you just had this room empty, like, these lights wouldn't be doing this. But it's the fact that there's haze and stuff that we have these incredible dimensions and shapes and cones of light here. Yeah, just really cool. I could probably talk about this one for another 20 minutes, but we gotta keep going. So next up, it is 80s Sose and Senidah Cista Ijubav. I apologize so much. I definitely butchered that. Ooh, some slow-mo. Real slow-mo. Love to see it. That would be probably at least 120 frames a second, if not more. Cool overlay stuff here. I mean, it might also just be VFX. Ooh. Okay, quick note. We were just talking about Rembrandt lighting. This, slightly different. Now, where they've got that light would probably be at a 45-degree angle if he was facing the camera. But they've actually chosen to have him, like, turn away from camera and look at that light. So it's sort of, if I did this, now you're gonna get shadow on the side here because this isn't front on to the light. So that's why we're seeing a shadow side in the foreground here. But yeah, very, very interesting, especially after what we were just talking about. Oh, cool match cut. Loving the like out of focus shots, like just the depth is beautiful. Wow, that was a cool VFX shot into the practical set. Oh, okay, hand. We gotta talk about this. Alright, so, how the hell, look at that beam of light they're getting. Like, first off, gorgeous. But this is the little things you've got to think about, right? If it was only that ray of light, the rest of this would be pitch darkness. So, we know there's other lights in this room, but more importantly, how are they separated from the background? Like, there's got to be clear light adding shape and definition to their bodies. Like, you know, we could see every little detail of his shape here and hers. We also see this little bit of light hitting his forehead, which does not make sense as to that light ray. So what's going on? They've got a top light. And what that top light is doing is it's adding some separation. It's also acting as an ambient light for the entire room. And then they've taken that really white, hard light, possibly on a spotlight. I'd honestly say it's a spotlight. And just hammered it through to add an interesting detail of shaped lighting through the set. It just, because think, if you didn't have that white beam of light, that would be like, it's still nice, but it's a bit boring. But with that ray, suddenly makes it a lot more interesting. So it's not just about lighting your subjects. Sometimes, and honestly, a lot of the time with lighting, it's about like, how do we take this boring shot and make it more interesting? Cool little like flares. Oh, that depth is crazy. Now she's standing in that light. Cool editing as well. This is so cool. What the fuck? A lot of this is definitely VFX, but that doesn't make it any less cool. Oh! Okay, hand. Alright, hand on. Top light, 100%. Potentially, honestly, could even be a bit of a backlight. Like, there could be even just a simple tube light right behind her, like on the floor, just because, again, think about it this way. If there was just front lighting, she is wearing all black, it would just look like a floating head on a black background. But the fact that there's that top light, and it's quite a harsh top light as well, much harsher than the previous shot, like, that's adding shape. We can actually see her shoulders compared to the background. And it's not just with her, like, it's the same with the globe, the clothes rack on the left hand side, like, just awesome. This is like a clinic for separation of talent from environment. cool. I love that the shots of the band are used so sparingly. It makes it like the band feel like more cool, that we only see like glimpses of them and their instruments, I should say. Oh. Wow. Oh, so cool. So freaking cool. Awesome, just chuck it in reverse. This is incredible CGI. I fucking love it. And again, it's that blending of like CGI and practical. Like, it's just perfect, man. And I love these shots they get of both of them where they're like profiled to the camera. Ah, I love it. And the symbolism at the end. Oh, that's so cool. It's like, now look, okay, I don't understand anything about what they were singing about, right? But this is the beauty of like a visual storytelling. Like, I've said this before, I love music videos because you can tell an entire story without any dialogue and people can understand it. And I feel like that's something we've really lost in mainstream film, is so many times they just talk and they'll tell you everything they're thinking. And it's like, we don't need that though. You could tell a story visually. And so here, like, this is my interpretation of it anyway. You know, again, we've got the White King and the Black Queen here at the end. We've seen throughout that he's wearing white, she's wearing black. So this is obviously them. Now, because they've, in a lot of shots, been separated, even when they're in the same room, there's always a distance between them until all of this color and like them, you know, like this with each other. I sort of view it as almost like a Romeo and Juliet. Two people that, for whatever reason, familial or distance or whatever, love each other but can't be together. And this is a song about that. Now that's just what I pick up through the visual storytelling and just how it's, yeah, like told purely through the visuals. Maybe they're singing about something completely different, but like that's what I get from it. And the fact that I can make all of that essentially up myself by just watching a film with no dialogue in it it's so good. Like, I love this craft, man. I love it. But yeah, this was a beautiful music video. Lots of interesting choices, both with him on this white background, but also, you know, when they've got some of the shots of them being in the same room. I'm trying to find, yeah, like stuff like this. Lots of interesting choices with the blocking. Again, a bad cinematographer or bad director would just have every shot in their music videos just be front to camera. That's it. But there's a lot of now, hey, I'll be the first to admit, I've done a lot of that, because there are some music videos where you're like, yeah, it just makes sense for them to look at camera. But with stuff like this, where there's more emotion to it, there's more art to it, like, you can do whatever you want. Have them look away, have their back facing you, have them looking up, you know, like, you can do whatever you want. Like, don't feel like just because the artist is singing that you have to get it to the camera. Like, you can do whatever you want, man. Yeah, awesome music video. Okay, and talking about what was just a great music video, now we go to, I saw a glimpse of this, and it might be the most traumatizing music video I've ever seen. It looks like some Aphex Twin shit. Baby dance Scooby-Doo Papa. I even just saying that, I'm gonna turn this down. Let the horror commence. I just oh my god. It's so weird. I just why? What is that face? Jesus Christ. Do I have to watch this? Please, please, put me out of my misery. Just looking around for like a plastic bag or something to just take me out, man. I don't want to be on this world no more. Why is the baby bald? Oh my god, it's so... Oh, it feels like a mannequin. The lighting doesn't match up at all. What? This sort of reminds me of this South Park bit. I just jumped a homeless. What is this, bro? It feels like a crime. Why are they roller skating? We never addressed that anyone had roller skates. It's like, oh god, look at that. Look at that fucking face. It's like a nightmare. Look at him. Look at that baby on the left. Oh my god. That was fucking so weird. Why? But now they're doing like a Christopher Walken, like, where is this going? What? This has to be AI, surely. It had, like... Hello? What is happening right now? What? It just randomly finished and started playing a different song. What the fuck is happening? This has 1 million views. What is wrong with people? Oh god. But this song is so cool. No, it's not, you fucking liar. no words. That had to be AI. There is no way on earth that this isn't AI. Like, also the song sucks, but there's that. But yeah, that was wild. Just everything felt so washed out. Like it wasn't. But it can't. Hound, but it can't be AI, because then what about this? I feel like it's almost like this is all real, and then they like ran out of budget towards the end and just started like AI and stuff, which would also make sense as to why like the like we don't know any of these characters. Like it's like, what the hell? Like you'd think that establishing this guy, we would follow him for the duration of the shoot. But yeah, that's just so fucking weird, and it's filmed so bad. It feels like a music video that would have come out in the like 2000s, maybe even like the late 90s. But like, because the CGI is just terrible. And like, and there's just characters constantly disappearing or not. Some of the babies, especially in the roller skating, like literally nightmare fuel. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh, I hate it so much. Okay, we're done with this one. Alright, now hopefully for something less disturbing, we've got our first heavy metal music video. This is DIMMU BORGIR, Ulvgjeld and Blodsodel. Man, today has had the worst names ever. I need to start finding some like English songs. Very cool. Ooh, awesome costume. Nice. So we've got like a blend in here of VFX particles over the top as the snow. Loving this like flicker that they've added. And again, that's just artificially put over the top of the footage. Like, you can easily do that. Most editing software has a flicker effect. It's good if you're going for like old film reel type stuff, like 8mm, you know, schlocky horror stuff. Ooh, okay, turn this up a bit. And that's better. And again, when they go to another wide, yeah. So I was gonna say, there's a lot of haze in this room because you could actually see the shape of the light coming in, which is awesome. They've also put an artificial grain over the top as well, because you can see it in that haze. Loving that effect. It's like a kaleidoscope ghost effect. Really cool. And you can always do that in post-production, or you can get filters for your lens that'll do it. Awesome backlighting as well. Hell yeah. Okay, that I keep missing when they go to that wide shot and God damn it. And now. Okay, there. That's the best example. So you can really see the shape of that light coming through the window. Now, in order to do that, it has to be a really hard light. So I reckon that that's not sunlight. Unless they timed for a very specific time of day where it's coming through that window, which is fully possible. Like, that's 100% doable. But the easier way is just to put a big light out that window, simulate sunlight, and then haze it up. But yeah, loving the backlighting. Pretty much all of these shots have backlighting. And that's why, even though they're wearing all black and the instruments and stuff, there's a lot of black, they're still separated from the background and those shadows, is because there's a lot of hidden backlights happening. Cool, like, fisheye lens with some of these. You could see a bit of the distortion that a fisheye lens usually gives. And the interesting thing, comparing this to that earlier music video, even though this one has a lot of dark shots, there's like no haze whatsoever. And this isn't being played in 4K or anything. Oh no, okay, sorry, it is. But even that, it like, we still saw with the other one, 4K didn't fix the compression issues. But this, like, I'm not noticing anything. It's, yeah, it's beautiful. Loving the little shots that are done with slow-mo chucked in between the band shots. Again, you can always do that. Like, okay, so one thing to remember is if you want your vocalist on time with the song, obviously, and the instruments and stuff like that, you can't throw it in slow-mo, right? Because then they're gonna not be in time and it doesn't really make sense. But that doesn't mean you can't take really cool bits of movement, slow it down, and just drop it wherever you want. So with that, we saw, I believe it was the bassist, like, whipping his hair towards camera. That's cool. Chuck that into slow-mo. We're not looking at the instrument, so he could be, that could have been a completely different part of the song that's from, but it's a very cool moment that in slow-mo you could just chuck in anywhere. Oh, that's cool. Okay, few ways they could have done that. You see how that smoke is coming out? So there's two ways. One, it could be a VFX effect, possible, but if it is, it's very well done. Secondly, because of the way he's holding it, and you'll see how close his sleeve is in this shot, but then it sort of drops back a bit, he could potentially have like a hose sort of hidden under that sleeve, and smoke is pumped through it and out. Very cool little trick to do. Yeah. Awesome. Ah, these destruction shots are great. Obviously CGI, but like, it looks really good. Hell yeah. Nah, that was sick. Look at the focal length on that. That is fascinating. Yeah, honestly, really simple but effective music video. Like, that was terrific. Way better than the last one. Though I feel like that's a bit of a diss, because literally anything would have been better than that last one. But yeah, like, this was really cool. And again, showing the importance of backlighting your subject, when, especially when they're wearing dark clothes in a dark environment. But yeah, really cool. Those like little, you know, sort of kaleidoscopy effects and stuff that you're seeing in between. Like I say, you know, you can do that post-production wise, but you can also do that in camera. Obviously, this is just an example. There's heaps of different filters you can get, but this is a kaleidoscope filter. You can get smaller ones. You can also get ones that screw straight onto the lens itself, but because I'm always changing lenses, I was like, something that you can free hold is a lot better for me. But if I hold that up to the camera, like there, you'll see like what it can do. And the idea is, if, especially when you're in a dark environment, you don't want any light on this, right? You want to hide this. But if you put it right in front of the camera, you could do a lot of, like, really, especially for music videos, like, ooh, you know. And it's awesome. It works great. It's such a, rather than having to go into post-production and try and, you know, like, what effect do I use? Oh, it looks pretty bad, blah, blah, blah. I personally love and way prefer using these. The only thing is, you have to commit to it. If you do it, there's no undo button. So like, you have to practice with it, you know. But yeah, awesome music video. All right, and last but not least, we've got RJ Pasin, Odetari, DNA. I probably butchered that again. It's one of those days. Oh, okay, so straight away, we've got an artificial grain over the top. We've got 4:3 aspect ratio, but also look at, like, I'm really curious. They might have filmed this either on a anamorphic lens, or in all honesty, they might have had an anamorphic filter on it. Because look at that light, give it like those rays coming off the sides, and we can see that in a few different areas. Really cool. Ooh, damn. This is cool. The bloom. Alright, so what they've done is they've also added over the top, like in post-production, what's called the bloom effect or glow effect. And all that's doing is, think of it like taking a regular light and turning it to like a neon glow, Like, it's literally just adding more glow to the light sources. So yeah, really cool. Awesome VFX as well. Oh, that focus pull. Okay, hang on, we've got like 50 things to talk about here. First off, love this shot. Super dirty, shooting it through like glass that's got the rain droplets on it and stuff. Beautiful. Always love that. And the fact that the light on the outside that's actually lighting, that is like blue/white, but then there's red inside, and there's just a lot going on in there. Bunch of different colors. That focus pull was sick. So cool. Whoa! What? That is so cool. Damn. Curious who did VFX for this. Backlighting again, separating him from the background. Lots of Dutch angles as well. But yeah, I love the amount of like neon lighting in this. Like just RGB, it's green, it's blue, it's red, pink. It's awesome. Oh, bit of blood, nice. Let's see. Okay, that's all set stuff. Oh. There we go. VFX, 3D, yeah. Awesome work. That was punchy as fuck. I love that. That was stylish as hell. That was, yeah, really great job by everyone involved. Like, just the amount going on, the VFX, but the RGB lighting. But again, they didn't just go, okay, we got VFX, we got RGB lighting, job done. They also, like, just the editing of the pace, they decided to go with a bit of gore towards the end. They had, like, just a lot of really interesting camera shots. Like, this guitar one blows my mind, where it starts on a very typical shot of just, like, we all get that shot in a music video, but to then transition that into this is just, wow, crazy. That was awesome. Usually I'm not a massive fan of, like, stuff that just goes, like, fully VFX, you know, like, crazy like this. I'm like, but show me the band. But I think this was really well done. It went crazy, but it had a theme. It didn't just chuck in random effects because, oh, this will make it look cooler. It had a theme, it suited the theme, and yeah, it just executed it really fucking nicely. So yeah, great job to the team involved on this, yeah. thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.